This message is transmitted at the request of the United States Office of Civil Defense at 3:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. NORAD detected a long-range...
30 seconds. Seconds. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
From beautiful Saline in southeastern Michigan.
Around the world at sunsky.mysteries.com.
This is the 2009 Top 10 Webcam in the World winner. This is SETV.
This message is transmitted at the request of the United States Office of Civil Defense at 3:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. NORAD detected a long-range nuclear missile launch in North Korea. This missile is believed to be headed in the direction of the Los Angeles metropolitan area. It is believed that it will impact this area within the next 1.5 to 2 hours. All residents within a 400-mile radius of this area should seek a fallout shelter immediately.
The only real effect I can have is to create the impression that things aren't as bad as they are. To give our people time, the opportunity to survive.
I guess I just never realized I'd gone so far. We'd lost so much control.
Totalitarianism doesn't need armies. It only needs to control a couple of things. The media and the ability to dispense privilege to some and withhold it from others. Of course, a weak and divided people helps.
There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichmarks, rims, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. Wake up, America, the changing has begun. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring in your heart.
Well, good evening, everybody. Bill Zam here. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay and see me okay. We had a little bit of a snafu there at the beginning of the show. The view that you're seeing right now is our brand new, stunningly amazing broadcast facility. Of course, you see the all of the monitors arrayed in front of you. You see the little soundboard that we have here that the microphones feed into. You see our audio machine right here, and over here is our audio server. In fact, you can see the VU meters right now as we are, in fact, broadcasting. However, nobody's listening on the broadcast stream. However, I do see there are several people watching on the video side. So without further ado, here is my face. Sorry. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. I am, of course, doing excellent. In fact, if I was doing any better, I'd have to look in a mirror to make sure I was still me. Anyways, Saturday night, and late last week, as a matter of fact, we made the decision here that we were only going to upload parts of our shows onto the YouTube channel. That decision still stands. The show that we had on Saturday night with Alex Bachman, that one most certainly is not going to make it to YouTube, just simply because the information that we discussed would probably get us banned from YouTube just like that. So what we're going to do is take some snippets from it and upload those instead. So if you're watching this episode on the YouTube channel, well, a lot of the shows that we do in the future you are not going to see on the YouTube channel, just a snippet. What we are doing is we are, you know what, this is really bothering me. I have to fix this. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. There we go. That's a lot better. Sorry. You know, the camera angles, they sometimes bother me. Like just a second ago. You see, we have an entire staff that theoretically is supposed to be helping me here in the studio by moving the cameras and running the lights and everything else. And, well, they're nowhere to be found tonight. Obviously, they are paid far too much, since they can't seem to actually come into the studio and help me. At any rate, we are... Oh, and Astral is saying in the chat room that our facility is awesome. Yeah, you betcha. We spent almost $5 on this thing. It's there's nothing really behind me. It's all just like a blue screen. I'm just like the weather guy on the Weather Channel, and there's nothing behind me. In fact, I'm not wearing any pants tonight, so there you go. Anyways, the shows that we are not going to be putting on YouTube, we are putting on our social network site. Now, if you're not familiar with that particular site, that site is called SeleneETV.com. In fact, you can see it right there. Right there's the address right there. So all you got to do is type that into your little web browser, and you can go there, but don't do it now because you're watching the show. That is our social networking site. If you are familiar with Facebook, it is very similar to that. There is an activity wall where you can post updates about what you're doing. We have groups. You can start your own group. All you have to do is become a member of it. You can have friends. You can upload videos. You can upload your photographs. You can put links. You can do news stories, just about everything there. The whole purpose of the thing is, first of all, to begin putting this show on there. So those of you that are at sunsskymysteries.com, that page will become woefully vacant in the near future, and everything will be at SeleneETV.com. So what we will be having is a page or a group with the videos of the show that we are not uploading to YouTube on that site. It's a social networking site, so people can actually comment about things like that. So that's what we are doing. Now, tonight, what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you about some stuff that I wrote, and we actually have sound clips from various things that happened over the weekend, just like a real show. Now, we're not a real show, obviously, because, well, we're a real show. Have you ever thought about the difference between a rat and a cat? I mean, they both have a tail, 2 ears, 4 legs. They eat, they crap, they sleep, and they do meaningless stuff as far as us humans are concerned that may or may not what we call cute. But what is the difference, the real difference between a rat and a cat? It's how we perceive them within our social structure. And that, my friends, is how we look at the entire world. We decide without thinking at all whether everything we see is a rat or a cat. Because it's only when you actually think about a thing that you realize they aren't that different from each other at all. And that, believe it or not, the difference between rats and cats, that's basically how wars are started. It's all a matter of how you look at a particular situation or animal in this case. See, we have Group M, and that group says that Group C is a rat because they don't do such and such in the way we demand them to. And of course, Group C thinks the same thing about Group M, except that in our case, Group M has decided that we, in Group C, need to die because we are not part of their group. And Group C wonders why Group M doesn't have the ability to make the choice about whether or not to be in Group M. Group M, of course, is too busy trying to kill Group C to answer that particular question. That's some of the stuff we discussed Saturday night with Alex Bachman. And that's when Group C decides to protect themselves, and then Group M points at Group C and says, look, they are the devil because they won't let us kill them because they need to die because they aren't in our group and they're trying to protect themselves. That's wrong. You must submit to us. Sure, we might bluster and point out that Group C is just as bad as Group M. But you see, you are wrong about that because Group C was adulterated by minions of Group M long, long ago in a land far, far away. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about tonight. Now, we could go on and on about this cat and rat thing, but the entire point is to look at something at an arm's length and set aside the social side and look at it without those sets of rules. Of course, we all know that rats are evil and cats are good. Unless, of course, you're a rat, in which case that damn cat needs to die. So, there you go. That's my little monologue tonight. And the other thing that I was thinking, I actually wrote that, believe it or not. I didn't find that someplace and just repeat it on the show. I came up with that. There's another one that I came up with, too. This one's pretty good. I put this one on my Facebook page. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can find it. No, of course I can't find it. Go figure. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. It's in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. This one's called Fat and Happy. This is my takeoff on the Dish Network commercials. When you have freedom, you get fat and happy. When you get fat and happy, you stop paying attention. When you stop paying attention, your freedom disappears. When your freedom disappears, you lose your job. When you lose your job, you have less money. When you have less money, you get depressed. When you get depressed, you eat too much. When you eat too much, you get fat and sad. When you get fat and sad, you're easy to pick off. Don't be easy to pick off. Upgrade to being awake now. So there you go. You can actually write that down. That, believe it or not, is one of the postings at SeleneETV.com. Become a member today, and you can copy, paste that, and you can email it to your friends. So, anyways, I was looking around and actually found some audio clips. And this, to me, this entire thing that's going on in Washington, D.C., there's just something wrong with this crap. I'll tell you that right now. Listen to this. Next month, PETA, the animal rights people, they're having their big dinner. And all of the Hollywood people and all of the reporters and everything from Washington, D.C. are all going to go there, eat a vegetarian meal, and talk about how bad it is to eat meat. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. If you want to do that, that's fine with me, as long as they keep getting naked for their billboards. Who can disagree with that? At any rate, there is also a dinner that happens to fall a week before that PETA dinner this year. And all of the people were there at the dinner. And it is, in fact, the annual President's Correspondence Dinner. And Jimmy Kimmel was there, and he did his opening routine. And then our dear leader, President Barack Hussein Obama, gets up. And keep in mind that this is being broadcast and everything, and you have to wonder, you've got to wonder, how much support this guy is going to get from the animal rights people when he says stuff like this. Hold on a second. Got to get the right mouse. Here we go. Listen to this.
Even Sarah Palin's getting back into the game. Guest hosting on the Today Show, which reminds me of an old saying. What's the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? A pit bull is delicious.
And apparently that is supposed to be funny. Now, if you actually watch this thing, the audience was, they're kind of looking at each other kind of nervous, like, what the hell are you talking about? Eating somebody's pet? What are you, insane? And then, you got to hear this. This is, this is what he came up with next. Listen to this.
But I can take it. Because my stepfather always told me it's a boy-dog world out there.
So apparently that's what passes for funny in the I have no idea what in the hell's going on in that guy's brain. But Jimmy Kimmel actually came up with some funny stuff, and now we know that people that go after the big guys, people that go after the big guns in Washington, D.C., they have a tendency to not be feeling good, and as I always like to say, having one of those tragic one-car accidents in their garage and suddenly passing away. Like the fella down in Louisiana that was blowing the whistle on the Gulf oil spill, he just magically happened to have a heart attack. We had Andrew Breitbart, who magically had a heart attack. We had that one person in Washington, D.C., who was a secretary of somebody or other that was testifying, and she was getting ready to testify, and wouldn't you know it, the headlights in her car caught the house on fire, and she apparently didn't notice and died in a fire inside the car. That actually happened in Washington, D.C. The headlights set the house on fire. That's got to be a hell of a headlight system that particular car had. And, of course, with the Breitbart deal, everybody says, yeah, you know, that was just a coincidence. Just a complete coincidence, you know. People die of heart attacks every day. We had a family friend just a few weeks ago. He was out jogging. He died. And he was about the same age as me, about 50,000 years old. Well, as it turns out, there's been a development in the Andrew Breitbart case, because the coroner that did the autopsy, he came out with his final report on Friday, and Saturday he died. Go figure. Another serious and mysterious sudden death in the world of politics. Got to wonder how that guy that actually did the analysis of Andrew Breitbart's blood is feeling today. I wonder if he's feeling kind of, peaked. And the way this show goes, pretty soon I'm going to be feeling peaked too. You never know when I might just have a heart attack and drop dead. Who knows? At any rate, Jimmy Kimmel, he's next on the list apparently, because this is what he said on Saturday night. Oh, wrong mouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can get serious for a moment, I believe that if we truly want to overcome the problems that we face, we have to do it together. We cannot forget this country is a great country. This is a land of liberty and justice for all. And it doesn't matter if you're black like President Obama, or white like President Obama, or red like President Obama's agenda.
And that actually got some pretty good laughs. Apparently Jimmy Kimmel was on fire Saturday night at the correspondence dinner, and I'll bet you he's starting to feel kind of peaked right now. He's Whew, I'm not feeling so good. Yeah, just never. Maybe he'll just like drop dead on the show tonight. Who knows? But you don't want to say stuff like that in the current atmosphere in Washington, D.C. Now, on, let's see, I believe it was Sunday night. It was Sunday night. There is a show on that's been on. Apparently, it's been kind of popular. It's called 60 Minutes. And I forgot the prop that I need to do this particular segment. So this would be a good time for us to take a very convenient break while I pretend that I happen to have the prop right here in front of me. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and I, Bill Zam, will be right back. Just as soon as I start up the software that I need to take the quick break. Go figure. Anyways, let me see here. What are we going to play? We've got something pretty good to play. Okay, here we go. I'll be right back after this quick break. No, my prop is not an adult beverage. My prop is this right here. I am sure that many of you have seen this. You might even drink it. This is a protein drink called Ensure, right here. I, as a matter of fact, have been known to drink these things quite often. There you go. Actually, you can see it a lot better in this camera. There you go. This is a bottle of Ensure. This is a meal replacement drink. It's very similar to the Mileplex that I used to drink until we discovered some certain allergies. So because of my allergies, I can't drink these anymore. But I used to drink 3 or 4 of these things a day. They've got all of the vitamins and everything else you need. They've got, let me see here, they've got vitamin A, vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, protein, carbohydrates, simple sugars, complex sugars. They've got everything. It's basically milk with some whey protein in it, and it's chocolate flavored. This, apparently, according to what passes for logic on 60 Minutes, this right here is torture, and we don't do that in the United States. And that's our next sound clip. There was a fella on 60 Minutes, and his name is, let me see here, his name is Jose Rodriguez, and he was the head of the CIA clandestine service under George W. Bush. And he was the guy that got the information from, what was it, Sheikh Mohammed, that guy that looked like John Belushi when they caught him. He's the guy that got the information from that guy so that we could go and kill, who was that guy's name? Bin Laden. Yeah, that was his name. So he was the guy, and he got us all kinds of great information once the guys started talking. Well, he was on 60 Minutes last night, and Leslie Stahl, who apparently, I got to get a hold of Leslie because I think I got to find something out from Leslie Stahl. What I need her to do is I need her to go outside and look up and tell me what color the sky is in the world that she's in, because obviously she's not on this planet. She says, so, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was subjected to waterboarding, specifically 183 pourings of water in about a half a dozen separate sessions. The sessions lasted for 10 seconds each. Keep in mind that this guy wanted to be executed so bad that so he could go and get his 73 virgins. However, he was not allowed to do that. He, instead, all he had to do was give us the information. So, she says, Sheikh Mohammed was subjected to waterboarding, specifically 183 pourings of water in about a half a dozen separate sections. And this, now keep in mind that this guy that you're going to hear with Leslie Stahl, this guy was the head of the CIA clandestine services. Okay, he was the head guy, the honcho. He was, and probably still is, the world's best interrogator, bar none. This guy has got more psychological knowledge in his little finger than most people do in their entire body. This guy, he's like, he does this for a living. People that want to cut your head off, people that want to come and kill you and your family. This is the guy that talks to those people. And so this reporter's like, I'm going to put the whammy on this guy and get him all flustered and everything. So she asks him, Sheikh Mohammed was subjected to waterboarding, specifically 183 pourings of water in about a half a dozen separate sections. This is his response right here. And here it comes.
Can I say something about Khalid Sheikh Mohammed? He's the one that was responsible for the death of Danny Pearl, the Wall Street reporter. He slit his throat in front of the camera. I don't know what type of man it takes to cut the throat of someone in front of you like that, but he never believed for 1 second you were going to kill him. No. And let me just tell you, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed would use his fingers to count the number of seconds because he knew that in all likelihood we would stop at 10. So this doesn't sound like a person who is afraid of dying.
So there you go. That was his response. And then she asks, so what happens? Did the sheikh break down? Did he cry? Did he fall apart after your waterboarding sessions? And let's listen to his response. I keep getting the wrong mouse. Here we go. It'll be coming up here in a second. It's coming around on the old guitar here.
He gets a good night's sleep. He gets his Ensure. By the way, he was very heavy when he came to us, and he lost 50 pounds.
What, his Ensure? You mean like people in the hospital who drink that stuff?
Yes. Dietary manipulation was part of these techniques.
So sleep deprivation, dietary manipulation. I mean, this is Orwellian stuff. The United States doesn't do that.
Well, we do.
Now, keep in mind that her response there, the United States doesn't do that stuff. He's giving him Ensure to help the guy lose weight so he's more presentable for his big trial. I drink this stuff. My wife drinks this stuff. A lot of people I know drink this stuff. This is the same thing as Myoplex, the exercise drink that happens to be the most popular stuff. Mr. Universe invented this stuff. The guy that used to be Mr. Universe. He invented this stuff. And we don't do stuff like that in the United States. Well, let me tell you something. This is where I have a big issue with these people, especially these media people. They're idiots. They're the idiots that this show is about. In New York City, they have banned table salt. We don't do stuff like that in the United States. The president's wife is muttering and rambling about how we have food deserts. Incidentally, one of the food deserts that the government says that we have that needs to be solved right away happens to be in a city where, like right in the middle of this food desert, is the biggest Whole Foods store in the world. It's their flagship store, and they call that a food desert. They're trying to get you to eat their lousy food pyramid. They want you to eat this and that. When kids bring a turkey and cheese sandwich, they take it away from them. That happened here in Michigan, and they give them chicken McNuggets instead. We don't do stuff like that in this country. That is horse crap. Yes, we do. So you're allowed to do that to the citizens. Ban table salt. Take a child's lunch away from them and give them something else. Instruct us on how we should be eating and what we should be eating. But, you know, if they give the guy that slits throats on camera a bottle of Ensure, well, we don't do that. That's torture. That's horse crap. I'll tell you what that is. That's horse crap. Right now, I'm fixing to throw this thing as far and as hard as I can across this room to deal with the anger that I'm feeling, but I'm not going to. Because I'm going to calm down. Because we have another clip of Leslie Stahl and the former head of the clandestine services for the CIA. Hey, tell he's just like walking circles around Leslie Stahl. This is a thing of beauty. And then Stahl says, so you retired from the service, and you say in the book that by canceling the program, the interrogation program, Obama has tied the hands of in the war on terror, which apparently is over now. And here is his response to that. This is a thing of beauty. Listen to this.
We don't capture anybody anymore, Leslie. You know, their default option of this administration has been to kill all prisoners. Take no prisoners. The drones. How can it be more ethical to kill people rather than capture them? I've never understood that one.
President Obama has said that what we did was torture.
Well, President Obama is entitled to his opinion. When President Obama condemns the covert action activities of a previous government, he is breaking the covenant that exists between intelligence officers who are at the pointy end of the spear hanging way out there and the government that authorized them and directed them to go there.
So you have the government that directed these people to go there, go out there, get these people, bring them back, find out what the hell they know. And instead, we have canceled that, and instead we're using drones to kill them instead. So instead of capturing them, finding out what they know, putting them on trial, then putting them in prison, we're killing them. In the meantime, giving them a bottle of Ensure happens to be torture. These people are so whacked out, it's unbelievable. I have literally never, ever heard something like this before. It's like they're grasping at straws. They're idiots. There's no other word for it. They're idiots. And now we're going to go on to something, well, even better. And for that, we need to bring up our screen capture here. Hold on one second. We are going to go right here and bring up the computer screen. And, well, it's not there, so we're going to have to create a new one. And we are going to go like this, and like that, and it's going to magically pop up. There it is, right there. Isn't that something? It's like that technology stuff. I've heard that that's going to really catch on someday, that computer technology stuff. This is from Yale University. It is Environment 360, as you can see right there on the top of the screen. Environment 360 is a Yale website. It's like a blog. It is e360.yale.edu. That is e360.yale.edu. And incidentally, before I forget, what I'm going to do is I have the technology here to get a portion of the screen like Twitter. It's like Twitter. As soon as I post something, it pops up on the screen, except I do it all in here in-house. So when I have links like that, all I have to do is insert them in there and click a button, and it'll magically show up on your screen. You can click it and go there, and you can read along the article as I have it on the screen. At any rate, this is Environment 360. Now this right here is something that I found to be absolutely and amazingly humorous. And when I find something to be humorous, you know it has to be funny. Now, this article is written by Verlyn Klinkenborg. Verlyn Klinkenberg. Oh, that's so bad. I shouldn't be laughing, but I am. At any rate, the folly of big agriculture, why nature always wins. Large-scale industrial agriculture depends on engineering the land to ensure the absence of natural diversity. But as recent emergence of herbicide-tolerant weeds on U.S. farms has shown, nature ultimately finds a way to subvert uniformity and assert itself. Right there, okay? Nature ultimately finds a way to subvert uniformity and assert itself. Keep that sentence in mind. In short, this shameless history, big agriculture, has had only one big idea: uniformity. The obvious example is corn. The U.S. Department of Agriculture predicts that American farmers, big farmers, will plant 97 million acres of corn this year. That's the equivalent of planting corn on every inch of Montana. To do that, you'd have to make sure that every inch of Montana fell within corn growing parameters. Now, it's important to keep in mind here what this guy is actually saying. And he is saying that, well, nature is always going to find a way to win. Man can't, you're going to have to flatten the land, you're going to have to till it just right, you're going to have all of just the right herbicides in it, all the right balance of nutrients and everything. Because Monsanto, they're going and engineering all that corn and everything else and yada, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And nature is always going to find a way to balance itself out. Got it? Nature is always going to win, no matter what. Human beings, look at it. Thunderstorms. You would think that if we were that powerful, we could stop tornadoes. But nature always wins. That's the point of this. Nature always wins. When in Iowa, you have to level the ground, irrigate it, drain it, fertilize it, and spray it. You can argue whether uniformity is the result of efficiency or vice versa. But let's suppose that efficiency is merely the economic expression of uniformity. The point is this. When you see a Midwestern cornfield, you know you're looking at nature with one idea superimposed upon it. So, this same website, e360.yale.edu, after that article, after seeing that article, you saw that right up there on the screen, nature is always going to win. Man, you're just a puny little ant in the scheme of things, because nature is going to win. It's a constant battle against nature, because nature is always subjugating whatever we do. This same website has article after article after article about how man is so powerful, we're actually changing the environment. and making the planet so hot, all the seas are going to boil away. The ice caps are going to melt, and it's going to flood everything right to the Mississippi River. The entire, it's going to be Waterworld. It's going to be like, we're all going to be like Mel Gibson on his little boat in Waterworld, looking for dry land, looking for dry land. That's what it's going to be like, but not when it has to do with anything they don't like. So they don't like the big agriculture companies, and of course, you know, that's not right. The big agriculture companies, well, nature's going to, like, destroy them. But then again, well, we're destroying nature. That's what we're doing. We're destroying nature with global warming. So apparently you can have it two ways, which means that they apparently are on the same planet with Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes. I got to find out what color the sky is on the planet that they're living on. That's for sure. Now, what else do we have tonight? We have, oh, here's a good one for you. The next time you see one of those stories, or read one of those stories about how good things are going, about how the economy's rebounding, we're back on Easy Street. Over here from the Chicago Tribune, it's in Chicago, by the way, where the Red Cross has been warned that they can expect to evacuate Chicago when the NATO summit or whatever the hell is going to be there comes there. I'll talk about that last thing here. Right here. No housing rebound for a generation. The housing market is likely to remain weak and may take a generation or more to rebound, Yale economics professor Robert Schiller told Reuters Insider on Tuesday. It's another Yale guy there. See, those Yale guys, they know what's going on. Schiller, the co-creator of Standard & Poor's Case-Shiller Home Price Index, said a weak labor market, high gas prices, and general sense of unease among consumers was outweighing low mortgage rates and would likely keep a lid on prices for the foreseeable future, which is not a good thing for anybody that, well, happens to live in the United States. A generation for the home market to rebound. That's crazy talk right there. That's insane. That long? I wouldn't have thought that it would be that long for the housing market to rebound, which is very interesting. Let me see what else I got here. We had that. Tomorrow night we're going to get back into the theme that we started last week and on Saturday. I thought we'd take a break from it and go kind of mainstream so I could, at least upload most of this onto YouTube. Tomorrow we're going to talk about 4 words that changed the world. 4 words. That's all it took. 4 words, and it changed the entire world and the world that we live in. Yep. A small rebound in real estate crumbled and tumbled and turned to dust. See, when you're in the chat room and you make a comment or ask a question, we will answer it. This next one, this is another one that just gets me pissed off to no end. This was actually written in 2010. Let me bring the screen in a little bit closer so you can see all of the things. And here we go. I hope you're ready. If you're standing up, you're going to want to sit down because I don't want you to faint. If you have food in your mouth, make sure you chew and swallow and get a bucket because you're probably going to puke when you see this one. If you are drinking anything like a beverage out of a coffee cup, make sure that you don't have any in your mouth because it'll come out your nose, and that will be embarrassing. And here we go. Now, this is from 2010, and this was from the, I believe it was the Gateway Pundit. I'm going to show you the actual web page, and you'll be able to get there. And here we go. You ready? This is a list of the 70, that's right, 70 as in 70, members of the National Socialist Party in Congress. At the time, in 2010, how many members of the DSA. I think that's the Socialist Association. I forget what that means. How many of the members on the Judiciary Committee in Congress are members of the Socialist Party? And this is going to make our Michigan listeners pretty upset. 11. John Conyers from Michigan, Tammy Baldwin, Gerald Nadler, Luis Gutierrez, Melvin Watt, Maxine Waters, Hank Johnson, Steve Cohen, Barbara Lee, Robert Wexler, Susan Sanchez are all members of the National Socialist Party. We have socialists deciding our judiciary appointments. That's stunning. And here are the House members. Here we go. Here's a whole list of House members that you can read through. Right here. There's 70 of them. Right here. Look at all these. These are all members of the Socialist Party. These are all the socialists in Congress. Here they are. Look at all of these. Look at those. They're all members in good standing of the Socialist Party. Now, let me see if I can find that link, and we are going to go to the link right now. It's going to come up here in just a second. And there we go. The American Socialists released names of 70 congressional Democrats in their ranks, posted by Jim Hoft on Friday, August 13th, 2010. Obviously before the 2010 midway elections, midpoint elections. So some of them, hopefully all of them, are gone. The place where you want to go is www.thegatewaypundit.com. And it is in their 2010 archives. You can do a simple Google search for that. And here is the original article. Let me zoom in on that. The Socialist Party of America. That's what that DSA stands for. Announced in their October 2009 newsletter that 70 congressional Democrats belong to their caucus. And it was recently posted on Scribd. That's a place where you can upload documents. How many members of the U.S. Congress are also members of the DSA? 70. And this is basically the same list that I showed you before. You can look at that list again. It is a long list. And, of course, you will see that they have the state and the district that they are in. So you can get this list of all these people right here. And if they are still in office, you can find the people that are running against them and support them. However, you want to be very, very careful about that. Because as we covered last week, I think it was last Saturday, the President's re-election website, they're taking names of people that are giving to Mr. Romney, and they are posting a quick biography about each one and their crimes against humanity. So we have a hit list put out by the President of the United States, a la Richard Nixon. So there you go. And that is about it for tonight. We have also tomorrow night what we are going to be covering, what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to get back to our old, our other format. 4 words that changed the world. How Babylon hijacked Christianity by changing the definition of 4 words. That is what's coming up tomorrow night on Surrounded by Idiots. And, in the meantime, my name is Bill Zam, and that's about it for tonight. And I'm going to go take my bottle of Ensure and throw it as far as I can and as hard as I can at something, because I'm still kind of torqued up about that Leslie Stahl interview. And, well, that's about it. So, at any rate, my name is Bill Zam. We will see everybody tomorrow night. Have a good evening.